Welcome to this video about relational approaches. Why relationships in school matter. Humans are wired to connect and to seek support in their social surroundings and relationships. Relationships are the central tenets through which to influence, shape and build well-being. All pupils wish to and have a right to belong, achieve and contribute to their school community. Pupils need nurture and empathetic relationships alongside containment and structure in order to feel safe. All behaviours are understood to be communicative of an individual pupil's needs. A curious approach to understanding their presenting behaviour is essential. Needs must be understood and met in a compassionate and informed way rather than seeking to manage and contain behaviours alone. Respect for individual context, circumstances and needs means responding to individual pupils in a differentiated manner. Consistency is about consistent commitment to seeking a positive outcome for each individual, not about treating everyone the same. What are relational approaches? Relational approaches are universal practices that value the essential nature of relationships in enabling individuals to develop, learn, adapt, and thrive. Relational practice shapes all levels of a school setting, including ethos, policy, procedures, and everyday interactions. Relationships and interactions are a vehicle through which we can develop openness to trust and build a sense of security, belonging, and connection. Teach and embed skills to manage and regulate difficult emotions. Develop awareness of ourselves and the emotional needs and perspectives of others. And repair and restore relationships following conflict. The relational approach places emphasis on relationships, respect, responsibility, and restoration, which have been shown to be more effective in addressing issues of discipline and conflict than traditional behavioural approaches, where systems rely on the use of rewards and sanctions to encourage compliance. Such approaches are understood to garner short-term compliance and to have adverse effects on children and young people, especially those with vulnerabilities. Setting the relational classroom environment. Provide structure and boundaries through a well-organised classroom layout and well-planned lessons. Classroom visuals and personalised self-regulation items can be helpful in establishing structure and boundaries. Invest time in building relationships with pupils. Meet and greet at the classroom doors. Explore, make and learn about things together. Be playful in your interactions. Have fun and share laughter when appropriate. And notice things about them and remember details about them, for example, their birthdays, hobbies, and favourite teams. Provide safety cues. Be aware of your facial expression, body language, and frequency and modulation of your voice. Regularly check in with them with smiles, eye contact, thumbs up, and positive noticing of effort. This can make the pupil feel they're cared for and liked by you. And support wider connection with the class. Support the development of skills needed for positive relationships, such as valuing one another, acknowledgement, encouragement, listening, sharing ideas, acceptance, tolerance, and compassion. This can be through collaborative activities, such as group work and games. Responding to challenges. Be physically and emotionally available, giving them individual attention where possible. Attune to the pupil by mirroring their tone and mood. Seeing themselves reflected in you lets them know that you get it and enables them to see how they feel. Be responsive, expressive, interactive and empathetic. Wonder aloud and validate. Soothe and comfort them when they're feeling upset or scared. Anticipate triggers that may be interpreted as threat or danger. Unfamiliar sounds in the environment, unfamiliar people or situations, change in routine, unfamiliar physical contact or sudden movement can all trigger feelings of fear. Sometimes just a lack of safety cues can trigger a defensive response. Managing transitions, both large and small, for example, moving from one activity to another activity within the classroom, is particularly important. And contain their emotions. Let them know that you can bear their emotions and hold on to them so that they do not escalate. It can be useful to help them to organise their thinking and emotions by listening and then feeding their thoughts back to them in bite-sized, manageable chunks. Accept their feelings and experience without action, judgment, contradiction, or persuasion. Resist the urge to minimise their feelings, distract, or cheer them up. When things are going wrong, maintain a calm, non-confrontational stance. Tactically ignore some behaviours if possible, for example when the behaviours are not substantially impacting other pupils. Issues can sometimes be addressed at the end of lessons or at other times. Ensure that there is agreed approaches for managing specific behaviours. For some pupils, this can be specified in a support plan, for example, a behaviour support plan or a pastoral support plan or a safety plan. And put in place aftercare. Reflect on factors that may have contributed to the pupil being dysregulated and what might need to change in the future. Try to hold a restorative conversation with the pupil prior to next lesson. And follow up with parents and carers and staff working with the pupil to ensure a joined-up approach. This is the end of this video. You can view more videos on this channel in the Bite Size series, including other bite-sized, high-quality teaching videos.